Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. And welcome back to another base game speed build. I know recently I've been doing quite a few base game or, base game and one pack builds, but I really wanted to do another base game build because you guys really seem to like them. And honestly, since the base game has gone free this past week, I believe it was like Tuesday the 18th, I know there are a ton of new players who are maybe, new to the game now, who maybe just discovered the game, and maybe they just discovered, Sims YouTube as well. So I wanted to do a couple of builds that, kind of caters to them and kind of, that they could download and stuff like that. Also, if you're someone who, maybe just, has the base game and a couple of different packs, then this is also something really great for you guys because obviously, you could download the build with, just the base game and then add whatever, packs you have, because usually my speed builds tend to use a ton of different packs because I have every pack, so normally I don't really pay attention to what I'm using. So yeah, for some reason I've just been having a lot of fun with, doing these base game only builds and kind of seeing all of the different styles and stuff that I could do with just the base game, because in the past, whenever I did a base game build, I usually gravitated towards, just doing a regular suburban house. And most of my previous base game houses have all been like variations on the same suburban type of house. So I've actually been having quite a bit of fun just experimenting and seeing what different base game styles and, different architecture styles I could try and do. So obviously this house is supposed to be a Victorian. Now obviously because it is just base game, I feel like I need to make the disclaimer that it is just base game, so there are a few things that probably don't match the style. I mean, from some of the exterior things, some of the windows and whatever might not really match the style. And there are definitely some stuff in other packs that I would have loved to have had access to, like Strangerville especially, just for the windows and doors from Strangerville, and maybe some of like the roof decorations. But I tried to make do with what I had in the base game, and honestly I really do like the way this house turned out. It is a very pink house. I mean, the exterior isn't like super pink. You will have seen from the little like intro clip, the roof is pink, although the pink of the roof is kind of like midway between pink and red. It's not really red, but also it's not really like a light pink. A lot of the windows in the base game actually have a light, almost like baby pink kind of swatch to them, especially to like the shutters and stuff. But I didn't end up using any of them because they didn't match the roof. It really annoyed me because I wish I could have had either a window swatch that matched the roof, like the pink of the roof, or a roof swatch that matched the pink of the windows, because we have a lot of fences and columns and stuff in the base game as well. They're all in this more kind of like Victorian Edwardian style, and they all have the same swatches. So they all have like, they're all white, but they have like blue accents or green accents or pink accents. And I would have loved to have had a roof color that matched those swatches so that I could have, like the pink roof and then probably not pink windows, but maybe like the pink roof with, a like fence around the bottom that was like white with pink accents that matched the roof, for example. That would have looked so nice. But unfortunately, matching swatches in The Sims 4, especially in the base game, just really aren't a thing, and they're very annoying. A lot of the base game swatches, they're either very neutral, like very, very neutral, or they're very, very bright. So we have a couple of like baby blue and like baby pink swatches, but the other like pink swatches in the game are more of a like magenta type pink, like a very bright, almost neon. And honestly, that is a lot. That is a swatch that I literally like never use because it's too bright. But yeah, so for this house we're building a Victorian, like I said. It's also a fairly big house. It's a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom house, and it's built on a 30 by 30 lot in Newcrest, which is actually, you know, obviously the base game free world that we got in an update years and years ago. It's literally like an empty world, so you could build, you know, whatever you wanted there. And I kind of wanted to build on this 30 by 30 lot because I did have a little bit of like a reference image for this particular build. I actually have a picture that I'll try and plop up on the screen. It's not a very good picture. It's literally like a screenshot picture of a TV show that I believe is like Law and Order SVU, I think it was, that my mom was actually watching at some point. And she just took this picture of her screen with her phone, and she sent it to me, and she said, you know, she'd love to see a house that's kind of like based on this because she does watch my videos. So yeah, I decided that I'm going to use that picture for inspiration. So that's where the pink roof and stuff came from. Even that area in the front with the little like turret in the front, I'm going to call it a turret. But yeah, so with the little turret in the front with the porch around it, that's also from that picture. Now the picture has it actually has the entry stairway at the front onto the porch. It has that on a diagonal, but because we can't do stairs on a diagonal in The Sims, I couldn't really do that. I tried making it work, but just having that weird diagonal bump out on the porch without it being like for the stairs just looked so weird. So I kind of just like modified the front porch a little bit to, you know, work with what we have in the game, or what we can make work in the game, I should say. And that's also why I decided to build on this 30 by 30, because it has roads on two sides of it. And technically, when you upload, I don't know exactly where the Sims will spawn when they like come to visit this lot. I don't know on which side of the house, on which road they like appear, but I know that if you take the gallery picture, the picture is actually from the other side of the house. So in front of it you have like the red brick cobblestone road, and then you also have to the side you have the black tarmac road. Now, the gallery picture is actually from the angle of the tarmac road. So on the gallery, the picture of the house is literally like the side of the house. It's not actually the front. But I built it with the front facing the bigger road, because the cobblestone road is the one that has like the trams on it, and it looks like a bigger road. It's literally like a boulevard type road. So in real life that would probably be like the front of the house. So I just built it facing that way, because also the lighting is better this way. It kind of like the lighting hits the actual front of the house, if that makes sense. So I built it that way. But yeah, so I built it on this lot because of those two roads, and also because I don't really build on 30 by 30s all that much. We don't really have a lot of 30 by 30s. I think we have, in the base game, we only have this one. The other lots in the base game worlds are all like 20 by 15, 30 by 20, 30 by 40, and 50 by 50, I think. We don't really have many 30 by 30 lots in the game. We have a couple in other packs that I do know about. I think we have, honestly, I can't think of any other. I know we have, I think, one in Brindleton Bay on the island. We have, honestly, maybe like some in Hinford on Bagley and like Moonwood Mill, maybe. But yeah, like I said, I don't tend to build on 30 by 30 lots all that much. So I figured, you know, if you're new to the base game, or if you're new to the game, obviously, and you maybe just have the base game, and you know, maybe you're looking for a lot for, you know, for a house for this lot in Newcrest, then here you go. Because yeah, like I said, I don't really build many houses for 30 by 30 lots, and I don't think many simmers actually do. Or at least I don't tend to see a lot of simmers building for a 30 by 30. So I decided, you know, we'll do it on this one. And also because my last base game build was a really, really small house. So I wanted to do something a little bit bigger again. And yeah, it ended up being like a 5-bedroom house. So this house actually has space for like 6 to 8 sims. So basically I say 6 to 8 because obviously there's a main bedroom that could be for 2 parents. And then there's another bedroom with a double bed that in my mind I figured would be for either like an older teenager, maybe they're about to turn into a young adult, or maybe they're actually a young adult and, you know, maybe they're still living at home, or maybe they're in like university if you have the Discover University pack and, you know, they're still living at home while, you know, they're going to university classes. But yeah, so that bedroom is also it has a double bed in it, and that's also the only other bedroom that has an ensuite. So we have the main bedroom for the parents that have an ensuite. Then we have that kind of like, I'm going to say young adults room that has an ensuite as well. And then we have another big full bathroom upstairs that's basically for the other 3 bedrooms. And then we have a half bathroom downstairs. So I did cut out all of the bathrooms because I had about like 6 hours of footage for this build, and sped up it was like 53 minutes. So there were quite a few things that I had to cut out. So I cut out me doing the bathrooms. I cut out some of the landscaping because a lot of the landscaping is just repetitive stuff, like copying flowers over from like the front of the build to the back. So I show at the end, I show me doing some of the front landscaping and then just cutting out, you know, the rest of it. Because it's a very like, there's a lot of plants. There's a lot of like flowers, pink flowers, white flowers. So it was just basically a lot of repetitive copying of stuff. And then also, as you can probably see with these curtains, I do cut out me doing a lot of like fiddly stuff. So like trying to play around with the tool mod to get items the exact right size, or, you know, whenever I'm being very indecisive, which happened a lot, but whenever I was being really indecisive and I was just swapping out like curtains, for example, or rugs, I was just swapping out like 20 different like colors and styles and stuff, and it was just very boring to sit through. So I cut those like very boring stuff out. But yeah, so I cut those out. I cut out me doing the top hallway as well because it's a hallway. There's a hallway table, a bookcase, and I believe like a chess table and a like small sofa, and that's it. But as usual, I do include every single like room, every single like everything in the screenshots at the end. So if you want to stick around and see like the whole build and everything, anything that you might have missed as well. And also because I know that it's sometimes a little hard to follow with what I'm doing or how stuff turns out when I'm like flying all over the place and when the footage is sped up. So a lot of the times I know people will watch the speed build and then they'll actually like sit through the screenshots to see how, you know, the build turned out at the end and like see everything. So yeah, everything is in the screenshots. I made sure to take a ton of screenshots. So yeah, you get to see everything in there. But something else that I should mention in case you guys are, you know, maybe like new to The Sims and, you know, maybe you're new to building, is the tool mod. So the tool mod is a mod that you will see me use in literally almost every single build that I do. I think I've had it in my game for honestly maybe like 2 years at this point. I think it's been about like 2 years or so that I've really been using the tool mod a lot. And it is a mod, so if you're playing on console, unfortunately you can't get it, but if you're playing on PC or Mac, then you can get it. It's a totally free mod as well. I'll leave a download link below to Twisted Mixie, who's actually the creator of the tool mod. I'll leave a link down below to their website, and if you click on the little like tool icon on their website, then it will take you to a Patreon post that is public. You can totally read it, you can download the mod from there and everything. But if you read through that Patreon post, it will actually give you like detailed instructions on how to install it if you're new to installing mods or whatever. But basically it'll give you detailed instructions. It will also, I believe, link to a YouTube video that Twisted Mixie did, where they basically did like a tutorial about how to use the tool mod, because I know it can seem really intimidating, especially if, you know, you're new to mods or you're new to building. I mean, even for some builders that I know, some other creators that I know who have been building for years, they still feel intimidated by the tool mod. And personally, I felt really intimidated by it when I first started using it, and it's only recently that I've gotten a little bit more like confident with it, and I've been trying different things. But there are some creators who use this mod in just the most incredible ways. They build the most incredible things. One of them that comes to mind, like off the top of my head, is Kate Emerald. So Kate is another Sims builder. She does incredible builds. They're all usually like huge, and she has some of the most amazing ideas and ways of using items with and without the tool mod that it blows my mind. Honestly, sometimes when I see one of her builds, I literally just can't believe that it's the same, like that we're playing the same game. So yeah, I'll leave Kate's like channel link down below as well in case you guys want to go ahead and check her out. We've done a collab before in the past as well, where she built this huge modern mansion and I furnished it. So I'll leave my part of the collab on the screen for you too. But yeah, so basically this mod can be very intimidating if you're not used to it, but it's actually very easy to use if you get like the basic stuff down. So for just scaling items, and I use it mainly for scaling items and lowering items up and down that you might not be able to just use like the 0 and 9 keys for. And also if you use the bracket keys on your keyboard to scale items in The Sims 4, they kind of like scale by very specific increments, and a lot of the times those increments are either too big. So if you scale an item up once, it might be too big, but if you scale it down once, it might be too small. So the tool mod just allows me to scale items a lot more precisely, and you know, that's really useful if I want an item to be like a tiny bit bigger but not like double the size that it was originally, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's a very handy mod. I use it a lot. Like I said, I use it for everything. And then another like weird thing that you might notice is a red shelf. So it's almost a transparent red shelf that I use whenever I want to like clutter up a surface and stuff. Now that red shelf is actually custom content, and you will need to download it. It is custom content, so obviously you can only use it if you're on PC or Mac, not on console. But it's, like I said, it's custom content, but I don't leave it in my game. So I don't leave it in the build. So I use it to clutter and then I delete it. So none of my builds get flagged as using custom content or anything like that. And you don't need the red shelf or the tool mod if you want to download any of my builds. So just because I used it doesn't mean you need to have it in your game to be able to use the builds that I did with it, if that makes sense. So yeah, those are just two things that I thought I should mention. I always have the red shelf linked in the description, and I'll make sure on this video to have the tool mod linked as well, because it's a very useful mod. Another mod by Twisted Mixie. This is kind of just turning into a like mod video at this point, but the video is very long, so yeah, I have a lot to talk about and I have a lot of time to talk. So yeah, you're just getting a very mod talking video for some reason. But another mod by Twisted Mixie that I use a lot is actually the Better Build Buy mod, and that mod is mostly just for, you know, organizing the debug menu, organizing the live edit objects menu, because it's so handy when, you know, when we got the live edit objects cheat added to the game and we got access to all of the world items, like all of the world decorations, you know, stuff like that. That menu, that catalog, if you don't have this mod, is an absolute nightmare to try and navigate through, because just the base game has like, I think, over 1,000 items or something like that in that debug menu. So there's a ton of different items that you kind of like have to sort through to get to what you want to use. And you also can't like copy the debug or the live edit objects items, you know, just in the normal game. So that mod actually like sorts those menus, so it like categorizes all of the items in normal categories. It gives them all names so you can search for them. It also allows you to like clone items. So for example, the fence that I use around this whole build, that like picket iron type fence, that fence is actually from the live edit menu. So it's actually from the base game. Somewhere in one of the base game worlds, they used that fence in the world, and you know, we now have access to it in that menu. But yeah, so basically I used a debug fence, the little like fence posts that I used as well around the house for the fence, they're all from debug. And yeah, just if I didn't have the mod, it would have taken me so much longer to like find all of those items, copy them, place them. It's just, the mod is so useful, the Better Build By mod. It also allows you to, you know, turn on those cheat filters a lot easier than having to like type them out every single time, because the cheats themselves are very long, so having to type them out is kind of annoying all of the time, especially if you do a lot of building. So yeah, the mod basically just makes it so that it's a really easy toggle that you can just switch on and off, you know, on the side where you have like the filters and the toggles for like packs and stuff. You can just turn them on and off, and it's so easy. So yeah, the Better Build By mod, it's also linked on Twisted Mexie's website that I'll have linked in the description. So definitely go ahead, check those out if, you know, you're new to The Sims and you're looking to get into building, or if you're already a like seasoned player and, you know, you really like building, or maybe you want to get more into building and, you know, you don't know where to start, then those two mods are a really great place to start. Because honestly, I really wish I had started using them a lot earlier. The Better Build By mod is a little bit newer than the Tool mod, but the Tool mod was out for ages before I actually started using it, and I really wish I had started using it a little bit earlier, because it makes my life so much easier. But yeah, so getting back to the actual build, and also something that I wanted to mention, I mentioned this in my previous base game build, but I wanted to remind you guys again, is the fact that I do believe the Sims 4 DLCs, so expansions, game packs, all of that stuff, they're all on like a really big sale at the moment. I believe they're almost like 50% off or something like that the last time I had a look. And that offer, I believe, is only running until the 1st of November. So if you want to grab any of the Sims 4 DLCs, then definitely go ahead, go to Origin, or like the EA app. I don't know if it's on the EA app as well. I saw it on Origin. But go to, you know, the store or whatever, like the EA store, whatever. I don't know what to call it, but I'm just going to say Origin. But go to Origin, have a look, see if there are any of the expansion packs that, you know, you might want to pick up. If you can, then definitely do that, because they're on sale. So yeah, just wanted to remind you guys of that. Now back to the build, like I said. So this build is, like I said, 5 bedrooms. So we have the main bedroom that we've already done. We have the young adults room, which we've also already done. It was that very blue room. Now we're actually working on the teenagers bedroom. So it's a very pink room. The whole house is very pink, because I figured that either one or both of the parents, maybe pink is like their favorite color. So the whole house is very pink. Like all of the furniture in the main living areas are all this very light pink. A lot of the wallpapers and stuff are a little bit more pinkish, brownish color. And yeah, everything is very pink. Very pink. It's also a color that I don't use all that often for like the main areas of houses. So I had a lot of fun with it in this one. But yeah, so this teenager's room is incredibly pink, because the wallpapers are pink, a lot of the furniture is pink. But this teen actually has access to the turret at the back of the house. So the house has 2 turrets, one at the front, one at the back. The teenager actually has access to the one at the back through that ladder, and I figured, you know, this teen is probably really into art, so they have that turret set up kind of as their own like little art studio, which is really fun. I had a lot of fun with that, and I would have loved to have had a room like this growing up, but honestly, I probably would have never used the turret because I really hate climbing up ladders. So I probably would have never used it. But yeah, so we have that. And then we have the other turret room at the front of the build is actually for 2 twins. And I thought they would be children, so they have like a bunk bed in their room. The room is a little bit smaller, and trying to fit in a bunk bed was a nightmare, but I eventually figured out a way to do it. So the room at the bottom kind of just has the beds, a desk, and a dresser. And then upstairs in the turret that they can access through the other ladder is actually kind of like a little like skill building activity room. So they have the little like, I guess, potion station. They have a little not art easel, a crafting table, a blarfy, just some fun skill building stuff. And then downstairs they kind of just have their beds and a dresser and a table for like a desk. So I do want to mention what you see me doing with the desk, where I put like a desk and then underneath it I have a dining table sized down. I did playtest it, so it totally works. Your Sims can sit at both sides on both chairs. They can like use both desks and stuff like that. So it totally works. So you can have 2 Sims doing their homework at the same time. Works perfectly fine. So yeah, that's just something that I wanted to mention. This whole house is playtested. I playtested every single build, every ladder, every thing upstairs, like in the little like turret rooms. I playtested every bathroom, every bedroom, the kitchen, living rooms, everything like that. So everything should work perfectly fine. But yeah, that's just something that I thought I should mention. So yeah, we have the kids who are both like, obviously I thought they would both be children because they'd be twins. But I figured maybe one of them is like super into space and, maybe like space and rocketry and like sciencey stuff. And then the other one is a little bit more into art and reading and stuff. So there's a lot of bookcases and books around. So that's kind of how I furnished their rooms. And then obviously the teenager I thought would be very creative, like into painting, everything like that. And then the young adult, whose room I just talked through, was a little bit more into like gaming and stuff. So they do have a guitar in their room, but I figured, it's one of those things where, maybe they picked up like playing the guitar when they were a teenager and they did it for like 3 months and they never touched it again. And yeah, that's just kind of what I thought for that, like for the blue room, basically the bluish green room. And they have like a really big gaming setup though. So they have the unlocked computer that you get if you reach I think like level 9 in the Tech Guru career or something. So they have like that gaming computer. They have like a lot of like, I guess in my head, like gaming collectible stuff, like the My Sims trophies and stuff like that around their room. And it's very messy as well. So yeah, I figured that would be like for a young adult who's maybe, I don't know, like maybe studying computer science or something in university, if you have the university pack. But yeah, those are all of the like personalities I thought of for the kids. And then the last bedroom is actually going to be a toddler's bedroom. So it's going to be just a very cute, very neutral, like blue-green toddler bedroom. Most of these bedrooms are fairly like neutral, I would say. I mean, obviously they have like color schemes. And, when I was building it, I did think that, maybe the teenager would be a girl. But for all of the other Sims, I thought maybe the toddler would be a boy. But, honestly, colors don't have genders. So you could have any Sims living in any of these rooms that you wanted to. You can also, of course, change up the colors of the rooms if you wanted to, maybe just like change up the wallpaper or something. Then the room would have a totally different vibe as well. So yeah, overall I kind of just wanted the rooms to kind of like fit with the house, if that makes sense. So I tried to use a lot of more neutral furniture, a lot of like older furniture as well. I believe like the kids room, the twins room, is the room with probably the most like modern furniture out of the whole house. Maybe the teenager's room as well has quite a few like more modern items. But all of the rest of the rooms tend to have a little bit more of like a older traditional type of vibe to them, which I actually really liked. I don't usually try and match my kids' rooms to the rest of the house. Usually they're very much like they kind of like stand out compared to the rest of the house, but these ones I try to make them match as best as I could. But also because I only had the base game to work with, I was quite limited to like what I could use and like decorative stuff that I could use, because we don't really have a lot for kids and toddlers, especially in just the base game. But yeah, I really like the way this house turned out. We're just going to be working on the rest of the exterior for like the next 7-ish minutes, which is a lot because, yeah, like I said, it took me quite a while to get this build done. And a lot of that time was spent on the exterior because, yeah, it's a very big build. I tried to be as detailed as I could with just the base game. So, yeah, I don't know, I spent a lot of time on the landscaping especially. So, yeah, I had to cut some of it out. But something else that I did want to mention is on the gallery, you will see that this build also uses the holiday stuff pack. Now, the holiday stuff pack is a free pack that you can download for The Sims, and if you have the base game, then you can just go onto, I don't know if it downloads automatically with the base game or whether you have to physically go in and like tell it to download the pack. But if you have to download it manually, basically you just have to go onto Origin. I don't know how it works on the EA app because I haven't used that. But on Origin, you basically just have to go onto Origin, go to The Sims 4, and then click on like more content or something like that. And then just scroll down. You'll find the holiday, I believe it's called like the holiday stuff pack. And it should be completely free. It's, you know, free the last time I checked on it, which was earlier in the week. It was totally free. So that's basically like a stuff pack that they added that they kind of update every now and again around the holidays, where they've added, you know, some more Christmas decorations. They've added some Diwali decorations. They've added some kind of like summertime Christmas decorations as well, with like a snowman but made out of like sea sand. And, you know, those flip-flop lights that I ended up using in the teenager and the children's rooms, those flip-flop lights, fairy lights, they were actually from that pack, from one of the updates. So it's kind of like a free stuff pack that they occasionally like add new stuff to around the holidays. So yeah, it's totally free, like I said, so anyone can download it if you have the base game. So usually whenever I do base game builds, I do tend to count it as part of the base game and use the items in that like stuff pack as part of the base game, because yeah, it's free. So in my mind, like anything that's free for the game that, you know, anyone can download is part of the base game, because if you can download it, like why wouldn't you download it, if that makes sense? So yeah, I just use a couple of the decorative items because it has a few candles in it and like those fairy lights that I use that, you know, they're just very useful items, and they're kind of like items that we don't really have in the base game. We don't really have many candles in the base game, so whenever I have an excuse or like the option to use candles, I will. So yeah, I use the free holiday pack, but like I said, anyone can download it, so you should be able to download it just fine. Also, if you don't have it, then you're not going to be missing anything major. You're going to be missing a couple of decorative candles throughout the build, and you'll be missing those fairy lights, I think. And yeah, and then the only other things that I used were those cute little like hanging chalkboard decoration type things. I think I used it in the teenager's room or something. I can't remember where I used it, but I know I used them in like 1 or 2 places in the build. But they're all decorative items, so they're not like important stuff that, you know, you can't play without, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's just something that I wanted to mention. And then the last random thing that I wanted to mention before I start wrapping up this voiceover is, you'll notice that when I do the landscaping, I do end up adding in a couple of flamingos and gnomes, and like gnomes riding the flamingos. They're actually a statue in the base game, which is really funny. But I did add a couple of them, and I actually ended up giving all of the gnomes names. So yeah, it was really funny. I did that off camera, but I don't know if it'll transfer over to the gallery. So if you download the build, whether they'll still be named, what I named them. But if you do end up downloading this and you look at the gnomes to see what their names are, can you let me know down in the comments if, it transferred over to the gallery and what you think about their names, because I really like them. I found it kind of funny. I never knew you could name the gnomes because I don't ever place them down. So I had no idea you could do that, which was really funny. So yeah, let me know what you think about that, if you like my name choices for them. But yeah, this is basically going to be I'm going to start wrapping up this voiceover because yeah, I always mess up my outros because I usually run out of time on my voiceovers because I go off on tangents and then I run out of time. But I'm going to start wrapping this up. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this build, give it a like. If you're new to the channel and you'd like to see some more Sims content, including some early access content to, any new packs that we get, because yeah, I am part of the not Game Changer, we're called the EA Creator Network now. But I am part of the Creator Network, so I do get early access to packs. So if you want to see early access videos and, just more Sims content, then feel free to hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I do upload a new video. But yeah, this build will be up on the gallery if you want to download it. I'll have a download link in the description as well as all of my, all of the hashtags you can use on the gallery to search for it, my gallery ID, everything like that. All of the build description as well, like, bedrooms, bathrooms, price, the original lot that I built this on, everything like that, I'll have in the description. And yeah, like I said, if you liked it, give it a like, and it's on the gallery, all of that stuff. I'll also upload the tray files for channel members, and then in 3 weeks it'll become public, so the tray files for it. But yeah, it is already up on the gallery if you want to download it. And yeah, I think that's everything. Now I did my outro, and now I have like 2 minutes left to talk through, which, why does this always happen? I either run out of time to talk, or I talk so much that, I honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like trying to fill the last minute of this, which is really fun because usually I don't record voiceovers at this time of day, and that's also why this voiceover has probably been a bit of a mess. But yes, this video might also be a little bit late because, again, not recording this at my usual time, so that's fun. But yeah, we're finally coming up to the end. So I hope you guys are having a great day and a great week, and I'll talk to you all in my very next video. Bye everyone.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right and away, but I just love to play, and you're fun and your games. Always hungry for much of pandemonium.
We've been on and off again and again. I don't know which way we're going, no control. You push me, then you pull me back in. Don't know if I can decipher how your mind works. Yeah, you leave me wondering what it's like to feel your skin. I will keep on trying till you give me a sign. Give me a sign. Oh, give me a sign. Baby, give me a sign. Just give me one more. You leave me hanging, begging for more. Think that I'm addicted to this, can't resist to be a little risky and go for it, cause I want you close. I'm so exposed when you're keeping me wondering. You know I'd do anything to be in your arms again. So give me a sign.